Hello crafty friends, this is the Paper Chef here. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to cut out stamped images using the Brothers ScanNCut. The stamped images we'll be cutting out are from a stamp set by Stampin Up called Fable Friends. It's in our spring catalog, which is called the 2019 Occasions Catalog. Okay, let's get started. Prior to this tutorial, I went ahead and stamped a few of the images from this stamp set onto Whisper White cardstock using Memento Black ink. Okay, I didn't do any adjustments to these images yet using a pencil, but if I need to, I'm actually going to show you how to troubleshoot if these don't scan in, because sometimes when you stamp images that have been sketched like this, sometimes there's little breaks in the lines. With my reading glasses, I don't see any breaks in the lines, but the Brothers ScanNCut surety will detect them if there are any. Okay, so to load your mat, you're going to hold one hand on the mat. And then I'm going to bring the Brothers ScanNCut closer. Actually, not too much closer. Let me tilt this. There we go. Okay, so one hand on the mat and the other hand is just going to load using this button here. Okay. See if it went in straight. It looks like it went in straight. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and select Scan. And we're going to go ahead and select Direct Cut because we're directly cutting out these stamped images. We're not saving any of the information. So we're going to select Direct Cut. Okay, next we're going to select the machine. This is just a temporary storage area. Where would you like your stamped images to be temporarily stored? So you just say your machine every time it works. Okay, and then you say, this one is, do you want black and white or color recognition mode? It doesn't matter if you've colored the stamped images or you just stamped them. If you stamped them in black and they're on a white background, even if you've already colored them, go ahead and use black and white recognition mode because that's the mode you use when there's a lot of contrast between the foreground and the background. Okay, let's go ahead and say start. And now it's scanning in the 3 stamped images. My mat's pretty sticky, so I didn't have to tape them down or anything. But you always want to make sure that when you are scanning, that you don't cover up the black lines around your scanning mat because they are the registration marks. Let's see how it did. Saying okay. Okay, the bunny selected and the other 2 didn't, and that's okay. We're going to go ahead and cut out that bunny and then we'll get to the other 2 in a minute. There must be breaks in the lines. First thing we want to do is select the bunny. Okay, and then we want to give it an outline distance. Let me just focus that. Now, an outline distance is good if it's about 0.04. Okay? Now let's go ahead and say okay. I'm going to zoom in, and it looks like it got the outline of the bunny, but it also got some of the inside of the bunny, which is fine. We're going to delete that manually. Okay, or actually we can just ignore object size. So what you could do now is you could say anything smaller than a certain size. So we're going to say ignore object size, maybe anything smaller than ½ inch. We're going to ignore. It'll get rid of all those little stray bits around here, and including the inside of the bunny. And if it doesn't, we just edit them out. It's no big deal. Okay, we say okay. So where we are at is we are cutting a bunny. Here's the bunny I cut earlier. And we are using an outline distance of 0.04. Okay, that's where we're at. This bunny was detected because there was a solid black line connected around the outside. All right, we're going to say cut. But before we do, I don't want you to miss this step. You need to know the blade depth. Okay, I'm using a blade depth of 4 because I just sharpened my blade and it's for Whisper White cardstock and I'm using a standard cutting blade. Okay, so that now you know all the steps to cut your own stamped images whether you have this set or not. You can cut your own stamped images using everything I just said. And we just say cut and we start, and now the bunny will cut out. I'm in the habit, because the mats are not very sticky, of holding my finger on there while it's cutting. Okay, so now we can peel. So we can peel the bunny off the mat. I already have these on separate little papers. So let's get our little spatula and we'll see how it did. Okay, excellent. So there's our bunny. Let's put it on a dark background. It's ready to color using my Stampin Blends. I'm going to show you projects as I always do, my crafty friends, of the things I created using these embellishments that I cut out from this set. All right, so number 1. Now, what do? Okay, here are my troubleshooting tips. These are my personal tips. This is not like, I'm not a Brother ScanNCut representative. I'm just saying, if it didn't cut, there's a reason. Okay, so let's hold it closer. Let's take a good look. There must be gaps. Maybe there's some gaps in the tail. There's a little gap. That's possibly it. So we just take a pencil and we fix it. It's no big deal. Don't cry over non-stamped images cutting out. In fact, try to stamp them again. And then just take your pencil. I see a little, maybe that was the little gap. Maybe that. So in fact, let's just go around the tail. It didn't cut out. So why waste time trying to figure out where the gaps are? Let's trace around the tail with a pencil. You know why? Because we erase it later and you can never tell we were there. Now the artist, Stampin' Up hires really brilliant artists, and they did a nice little sketching. So I will erase these because I want this to have like the true intention of the artist. I like the little ragged edges. Okay, I don't see any gaps in the flower or the hat or the leaf. I mean, it looks to me like we got some solidness going on, but let's go ahead and connect that just in case, that little area. All right, I'm just troubleshooting the squirrel right now, so put the squirrel back down. I'm not even messing with the duck. I'm taking the duck off for now. All right, so let's just work on the squirrel. So we put the squirrel back on the mat. Okay, we're gonna say, and let's just go through this part fast because you already know this part, right? You know the steps I'm gonna follow. You're gonna follow. So it's just, we go home. Okay, we say scan, direct cut, machine, black and white. Okay, let's see if the squirrel cuts out this time. If not, we give up and we try on the duck, because really, this is my workflow. If I can't get it to scan out and cut after a couple times, and I've tried my tricks, you know, I give up because it's only paper. And you know what? This is already on a little square because it's already ready to be made into a card anyway. Okay, let's see. Okay, and it didn't do it. Okay, so that's fine. We give up. Okay, but I got it to cut out earlier, so it does work. In fact, you saw that sample. So now let's try working on the duck. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Let's try to get the duck to cut out. So we take our duck. Where did the duck go? The one that just didn't get recognized. And we look for any breaks in the lines. Okay, we take a pencil. I don't see any breaks in the line, so I'm not sure. Maybe here? Maybe there, like on the bottom. I'm not sure. I don't know what the Brother ScanNCut's thinking. Also, it could be so many things, like that area of the scanner could be dirty. I mean, who knows why it's not scanning? But really, I work my machine like more than most, so maybe disconnect that part too. So maybe, you know, it's just worn out. All right, I'm guessing that was it. I don't see any other breaks, you know, in any other place to put a pencil mark. So anyway, let's just stick it down. So we got our duck, sticking it down, going home again. Okay, delete all let's just say, delete all patterns, okay. Scan, direct cut, machine, start. Come on, ducky, you can do it. Okay, we're gonna say okay, and it did it. Okay, so that's how it works. So it did it. So now we just zoom in. Yay. Okay, and we put an outline distance of 0.04, and we ignore small object sizes up to, I don't know, half an inch should get them all, or a little over half an inch. Okay, let's say okay, and there. Let's go ahead and cut out the duck. So yay, we got the duck to cut out. So go ahead and we're gonna say start. And I'm in the habit of just sort of making sure this doesn't slip, because if it slips, it's not gonna get the right, it's not gonna cut around the right edge. So I mean, you don't just want it to not slip when it's scanning, but you want it to not slip when it's cutting either. Okay, cool. All right, great. I'm so happy. Okay, so there we are. We have our duck. So now let's get to the point of the video where I show you why we did all of that work. Like, it's so super cute to cut out stamped images because we're going to use them to make embellishments. I mean, let's face it, that's the whole reason. So I like to show you in my videos projects that I've created using this technique. So once again, Fable Friends stamp set. Okay, we have other stamp sets that are Easter related in our catalog. Here's our Fable Friends. Okay, I'm just reviewing this because I need to show you the paper I'm about to show you is from this occasion's catalog as well. And many of my viewers have a catalog for me, so I want them to be able to know like where I'm looking here. So I'm about to use, to show you for these projects, I have used Gingham Gala Designer Series paper. Super cool pack of 40 sheets of 5 colors of paper, okay? And you can see how I use that in combination with the Fable Friends to create these projects I'm about to show you. All right, so let's start with this cute little card I showed in the troubleshooting video. And when I say troubleshooting video, in case you haven't seen it, in the last video I showed what to do when your stamped images come out like this. Let me just focus. I told my crafty friends, like, if you get too much white on one side versus the other side, I showed you how to fix that. Okay, so then I showed this little card of the little ducky. Okay, and this is just a 3x3 card. Circle punches, happy spring, and I colored it with the blends. Okay, let's put him down. Okay, now I'm going to show you a nugget treat. I like to make nugget treats. Okay, I cut out the stamped images, these little ducklings, I colored them in, and then I'm using this Gingham Gala Designer Series paper. So I put on the back, like, because I give samples of my products, I put Fable Friends, and then I'm also going to put these stickers that say, contains nuts, okay? Because you always want to tell people what's inside the Hershey Nuggets. And I'm also going to put, created by Kimberly Smith, thepaperchef.com, because people like to, order these from me. But I don't put those stickers on yet until I take a photo, because if I put a sticker on, then the photo, like the sticker will show through the back. And I haven't even taken photos of these yet, because I just got done making them. And I'm sharing them with you first, before I even take my photos. Okay, so there's that. Let's see what else I made. Okay, so we have lots of jelly bean treats. I'm more into treats than I am into cards, because it's springtime, and these are great for care packages or what have you. So to make all of my treats, in fact, let me grab all of those, and then I'll just show you kind of slower one at a time. So I have four jelly bean treats. Okay, so all of those use that Gingham Gala Designer Series paper. Okay, all of them use these 2-inch cellophane bags that we sell at Stampin Up. Okay, so these are great bags for all kinds of treats. In fact, the same 2-inch bags I used for these, nugget treats. Okay, so now the only difference is these jelly bean treats, I put all of these stamped images on wobble springs. Wobble springs are not from Stampin Up, but I'll leave a link to my wobble springs. I put mini wobble springs. See that behind it? So it says Happy Spring, and then it has a little spring. And that's what I love about it. And this one I used the Wink Stella brush. That's a little glitter brush to make my duck have glittery accents. Okay, now this one I just used a spring and some, this is called Highland Heather, by the way, this color here. The blue is called Balmy Blue. And then I used some Smoky Slate to color. Okay, and then this one I used some Highland Heather, Pineapple Punch, Grapefruit Grove, Lemon Lime Twist, okay? And these papers. So I like my squirrel, he's on a wobble as well. And then what's nice is he sticks up off of this so he doesn't get caught on this spring sentiment. And then I did pink, and I didn't like the pink pirouette, which I used first. I'm kind of glad they retired that color because it was a really pale kind of pink. So then I used like powder pink next on top of that. So I blended 2 kinds of pinks together. I'm still not getting the right kind of pink for my bunny, but it's working. I mean, it's better than not. Better than having like a brown bunny, I think. But this color bunny's okay. So now I have a couple more. The last couple are Skittles treats. So you may have recalled, like I did show some Valentines on my channel, and I showed some cute Valentines, and I used the red and the brown Skittles for those packages, or for those treats, and they're already gone, because I used them at my workshop and already sent them out in care packages. So now I'm working on the spring one. So these are the rest of the Skittles. So when you get a bag of Skittles and you're like, oh, what am I going to do? Well, you can divide the colors up and make different projects, because these were more spring colors, and I think they matched really well. And I love this. This is called Balmy Blue, and I like the little duck's jacket and Pineapple Punch, and I like the way this duck came out. Grapefruit Grove on the little flippers there, and then I got the little balmy blue jacket on this one. I love it. So those are my projects that you can create yourself when you cut out stamped images and get all kinds of cool embellishments to use. So, well, thank you for watching, and until next time, happy spring.